the cloud.
Right. Welcome, 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 everybody. Good morning. I'm Jerry Ziegenfuss, and I'm calling in from not so sunny Florida today. We've been having a lot of rain, but I'm happy to welcome everyone to our Monday morning miracle call. Sending a special welcome to our new people, and so glad we had one to say hello this morning. I hope we're going to hear from more of you, and you'll soon hear why we top this call as our miracle call. And we really don't bite. So please, you new people, we're welcoming you in and we'd love to hear from you. Your miracle or result might be what someone so desperately needs to hear. We're a family and want to try to help everyone. So please raise your hand. And how you do that is if you look on the bottom of your computer, there's a reaction button, and then raise your hand. And if you don't mind keeping your hand up while you're speaking, that would be great too. But when you put it up, it locates you on the screen and I can call on you. So that'll be great. And we want to keep the shares, especially in the beginning, to 15 minutes. And that's 15 minutes to X39. And we added in Celergize. X39 is the go-to patch that we recommend, really great. Now, Celergize, adding it to is helping and enhancing the results of your patches. So please, the first 2 minutes allow to be speaking Celergize and X39. We'd like you to stay compliant, which means don't mention any diseases or diagnoses that you've been given, probably a doctor. That's what they use in the office. So we want to know your symptoms, and a lot of us can relate to what's going on to you. So we'll probably know what you're referring to. And if you don't mind telling us how you were before you started the patch that you wore, how you are feeling now. And please let us know how long you've been wearing the patches and how long you've been with LifeWave. We want to keep your testimonies to about 30 seconds to a minute, if you don't mind. And then you can always come back in later, but we want to try to listen to everybody that has something to tell us, because it's the information given is invaluable. So as you know, we don't claim to treat, cure, or diagnose any condition. So we want to begin, and I see Dashenko has that hand up already to start us off. So please start us off, and I want to see more hands.
Good morning, everyone. So I wanted to let you know that yesterday my son was using a knife that's sharper than he's used to and that's bigger than he's used to, and didn't have the skills to support it, cut his finger. I as a first aid measure, grabbed an X39, and he doesn't like adhesive on his skin, so I put it on his shirt on the back of his neck. And shortly thereafter, he stopped crying. And when we went to sleep, he's going to show you his finger.
Sure.
When we went to sleep, in the dark, he couldn't remember which one had gotten cut and which one hadn't.
Yeah, because it doesn't hurt and it feels exactly the same as the one that isn't injured.
Great. So great to hear from you. Clap, clap, clap. Thank you for being so brave and talking on our Zoom for us. Thank you, Dashenko.
You're welcome.
Next, Lemeria, would you unmute, please, and come on in?
Hi, good morning, everyone. So I use Celergize every day. Love the energy that I get from it, and when I use it in the morning. Last night I had a really freak accident where I had a mason jar full of water, and I had a little screw on top with a spout, and when I went to place it on the dresser, the spout, the top slipped from the jar. It was like a really thick mason jar. Cut right through my hand, my finger, and I had to rush to the emergency. So I got about 6 stitches, and when I got back, I was really starting to feel the lidocaine wearing off, and I was starting to feel the pain kick in, and my top of my finger was starting to feel numb. That's probably lidocaine. But anyway, my sister friend said, put an X39 on it. I actually put an Eon and an X39 on around the finger. I'm telling you, the pain just has not come back instantly, pain-free, had a wonderful night's sleep. Woke up this morning, no pain whatsoever. I can almost feel the regeneration going on in the finger. So just want to share that.
Oh, thank you so much. And we've had so many people with cuts in that. Put it right
I
there.
know.
And if you're out and about and you do something like that, just rip it off from someplace else and put it. And I had something yesterday happen, and I drive a stick. I mean, we have a manual transmission. I'm from old school. And I was driving and I got a cramp in my instep of the right foot, which you need to have when you're doing the clutch. And I just hurried up and I took my X39 and I put it right on my instep, and it might have been 15 seconds. I was ready to go. So that was really amazing because I was in traffic. So I see another hand. Danielle, please.
Hi, thanks.
Hi.
I hope this is okay because I didn't have an X39 and I was sleeping at a Charlie horse. And you know, when they come on, you're like starting to panic. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I had a Alavita on the side of my head by my eyes on my right side. And I took it off and I put it on my Charlie horse and I grabbed a glutathione. And literally 10 minutes later, it was gone.
Hmm.
So
Thank you so much for that. And yes, thank you for bringing it up. And just, we're going to, no, she's allowed. She came in and that's great. No, that's fine. No, thank you. That's really good because Charlie horses too are great for the X39, but that's wonderful. Whatever patch you might have, because a lot of people sleep with patches and I've heard they just take them off and they put it where it happened. So yes, good things to do, Danielle. Thank you so much. So any more hands? Because, okay, Suzanne, come on in, unmute.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I am so excited. A couple weeks ago, one of my neighbors, I saw her, she looked like she'd been crying, and she said that she'd just talked to her daughter who has a very serious condition. It's an inflammation in the brain and it causes debilitation eventually. She's had it since she's 19 and now she's 56. So last Wednesday, I signed up the mom, got her started, and Friday, her daughter signed up, and Friday was the first day her daughter wore the X39 patch. She had what she described as horrible carpal tunnel syndrome. It went away right away. And so I'm so excited to see what happens for this beautiful young woman.
Yeah. And Suzanne, please keep checking in and keep us up to date on her because she has some really difficult things in life that she's going through. So we'd love to hear if she has any results that are oncoming. So thank you.
Hopefully she'll be checking in.
Okay, great. Oh, okay, great. Gregory, what do you have to say?
Well, what I have to say is Robin and I are blessed to have two of our very, very best friends and upline enrollers, Kai Jacobson and Alette, here at our home in Bozeman. And Kai wants to share a story.
Hi, everyone. This is Kai.
Hi, Kai.
And
Nice to see you.
nice to see you. And, these stories are really inspiring. These are awesome stories today. And it reminded me of a story from a long time ago, actually, from about 4 or 5 years ago, when I came to visit Gregory and Robin here in Montana on Gregory's birthday. He does a yearly float down the Yellowstone River. And it's a beautiful, beautiful day, beautiful float. And Gregory, I think, got caught up in the spirit of nature and kind of really relaxed. And we finished the trip and we got to his son's house, which is right on the river. And the trucks that were pulling the rafts have kind of extended hitches on the back. So it wasn't the way the trucks are normally. They had these hitches that were long. And Gregory was watching over at his son's house. His grandchildren play in the yard. I think they were doing frisbee or something. And he was walking around the truck and he wasn't looking, and he kind of, gauged the truck on the way it usually is. And he was fully walking pretty fast and looking at the kids playing, not looking at what was happening by his leg and his shin. And he walked straight into the hitch. And his shin started to blow up right away. And I had a X39 on my neck. So this is why I was inspired by these stories about taking one off your body and sticking it on someone else. And I said, let's put this on that. And we've stuck it on it. And within like 30 minutes, it was like all like not hurting and not angry. And it was swelling still. And then he forgot about it. And the next day there was nothing there.
The next day we're sitting here at the house and he goes, how's your leg? And I went, oh. And I looked down, I took the patch off and you couldn't tell where it hit.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Our go-to patch,
It's really nice taking the patches off your body and putting them on people if you have to. If you don't have, you
Yeah.
know, it's good to carry spare ones, but if you don't, you can use the one you got.
Emergency medical.
Thanks, Kai. Appreciate that. Valerie, please unmute. Come on in. Unmute, Valerie. There you
There,
go.
how's that?
That's great.
Okay, I've been on the patches since March of this year. And after I was on it for about a month, 6 weeks, I used to have pain in my hands and my knuckles were just starting to really get big. And I used to have this problem in my hip where I couldn't walk or anything or do a lot of exercises and or rake or anything. And after about 6 weeks, I have never had any pain in my hands, never had any pain in my back. My hip stopped hurting and everything. I mean, and I really do, honestly, I feel 10 to 15 years younger. I really, really do. And these patches, and my husband has the same results. He is 77. And I asked him here a while back, I said, honestly, tell me, how do you really feel? Well, he ain't gonna lie to you anyway, but he says, I have energy that I've never had before. And like I said, he's 77 years old. And some days I want to take the patch away from him because I'm thinking he's doing way too much for his age. So, and I'm going to have stories here at the end of October because he's going to go into a doctor and I want to have the stories about his heart.
Okay, so yes, please follow up with us. Well,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank
And
you.
as she's talking about the X39 patch, and I also want to make sure, like, she's having results, and even 6 weeks is kind of soon in a way. But I want to tell you all, please be consistent every day, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, because in about 2.5 years, I didn't have to look like I was about 90 years old getting up and down, to make it to that floor that was way down there. Because if I dropped something when I was out, I was too embarrassed to get down and get it. And I can now even crawl on my knees. And that was probably in about 2.5 years when I saw that happen to me. So that was a great miracle for me. And then I don't want to leave out our fur babies because, come on, guys, I need some hands. But one of our people on the team, she had a little dog at 6 months old. They got trampled by the horse. And it didn't kill it, but it maimed it. It was in a lot of pain and they never could do anything. Took it to the doctors. Well, she sent me a picture and the dog is 6.5 years old, 90-pound pit bull. And a day, maybe 2, I'm not sure. She took her used X39s and she went and put it on the dog. She sent me a video and is now running around the yard. So please don't forget our fur babies because I've been using them on ours. So thank you for letting me share that. And please, Sunshower, please unmute. Come on in.
Oh, I sure have the fur baby story. I'll say it really fast and then another thing. My cat is now 15 years old. I've had her for 4 years and she's getting younger and younger and acting like a kitten. I just take my X39 off my C7, put it under her bed. Of course, it seems to go right through and she must feel it because she's just acting so young and happy. The other thing I would say is when I was first introduced to the patches through my homeopath and good friend, I said, well, okay, where do I put this thing? Because she loaned me a few, you know. And she goes, key here. Just put it where it hurts, Sunshower. Oh, okay. So I had had a pain for 17 years under my left rib. And in 2 days, that thing was gone.
Wow. Nice. Thank you so much. And as you heard from Sunshower, she placed it under the bed. Know that within 3 inches of the body, using the infrared heat, that patch is doing its thing. So you don't need to have it on your body, put it on your clothing. When it's near, it's going to do its thing. So Laura Ben, good morning. Please unmute. Come on in. It didn't unmute, Laura. Okay, there you go, Laura.
I'm using my phone. Good morning, everybody. And I have fat fingers. They hit the wrong space.
It's tough.
Anyway, I haven't been on a call in a while because I had other things going on. So I'm glad that I could make it today because I have a great experience. First of all, the one that knows me, they know that I had an accident last year in April, and that accident left me debilitated. I couldn't sleep, walk, stand, sit, or anything for 6 months. And it was really, really, oh, I cannot describe how bad it was. But anyway, when I started the patches in October 10th, matter of fact, the very first day that I used it, that night I slept 9 hours straight. So that's my biggest story. And then about persistence and consistency, I thought for a while the pain is never going away. I sleep well. I don't have the pain at night, but during the day I couldn't stand. I couldn't do much, and I was feeling very depressed because I couldn't do my regular thing. So anyway, fast forward. It's been now what, October, November, December, almost a year, right? And suddenly, the pain that I had that was really, really bad, it went like from a 90% to a 20%. And I'm able to stand. The other day, I went to help a friend clean her house, and I worked for 4 hours. And I didn't even know I was doing it. So anyway, my last experience, Friday, after I left my friend's house, I could not see from my left eye. I don't know what happened, but I just could not see. It was disturbing me because I had to drive, and my vision was in my left eye was blurry. When I got to my destination, I decided I'm taking my X39 from the back of my neck and I put it right here next to the left eye. Within 5 minutes, my vision came back clearer than before. And I've been putting the X39, I have it even now. I've been putting the X39 just to make sure that my eye is okay. When I took a picture, the picture showed that I had like black and blue, just like somebody punched me, but nobody did punch me. And the next morning, after I put the X39 during the day and I put the Eon at night here on the temple and the carnosine here, in the morning I had no more black and blue.
Well, thank you so much for that share. That was really a lot to get through, and we want to go on, but thank you so much. So happy for you. That's really amazing. And as you know, we're past the 11:15, so you can bring in the other patches. So that was great too, Laura Ben. Michelle, please.
Hello, Jerry.
Hi.
So I've been using the patches, the X39, since summer of 2019. So 6 years. And have you noticed, ladies, that we are not afraid to say our age? So my birthday is this Friday, guys. I will be 64. And very few people guess me in my 60s at all. I was at my eye doctor this last week, and she did the full hour, full exam. And when she was done, she said, I said, well, what's the verdict? She said, you have the eyes of a 30-year-old.
Nice.
Less than half my age.
Thank you so much.
And real quick, Jerry, I do use carnosine on my temples and glutathione.
Thank you.
At night. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I do the same thing, especially since I had eye surgery. I do an eye mask with the Eon and the carnosine. So thank you.
Thank you.
David, come on in. And I saw that fur baby there.
Yes. Yeah. We've got a couple of Yorkies, and we were out walking the dogs, and a little kid on a scooter came zooming down the sidewalk and hit one of them pretty bad, knocked it up against a rock wall, and it started limping on the back leg. And by the next day, it was swelled up, and the dog wasn't even walking on it anymore, just holding it up. And so it was really, really bad. And so that afternoon, we thought, well, let's put a patch on there. So we put an X39 patch on there, and the next morning she was walking around like nothing happened.
Wow.
Absolutely. And ever since, and that was, oh gosh, a couple of months ago, or a month ago anyway, and no problem at all. And our other one gets so nervous. This one gets so nervous, and firecrackers or fireworks or lightning or anything, and she's just
Right.
shaking, just sits there and starts shaking. And so we just take a neon patch and just
Neon.
put it in the back of her collar,
Collar.
and within 2-3 minutes, she just calmed right down and everything's fine.
Yeah, thank you so
Interesting.
much. And I know it works because I did it on my pit bull and it even worked for a big dog. So thank you so much. And real quick with the doggies, because I wanted to go in. I had a gentleman approach me at one of our meetings one time, and he had taken his dog into the vet because it had gotten into rat poisoning that the neighbor had put around his house. And they were going to euthanize the dog because it was that bad, but he couldn't do it then. So he took the dog home and had to wait till after 9 o'clock. He said, call me later. Well, then he went and he just got an X39 and he put it on the dog. And it was very quickly. He says he could not believe it. The dog started to act fine. And then this vet called later, are you bringing the dog in? Says, no, the dog's fine. So please, with your fur babies, get that X39 out there. So anyways, Allie, please come on in. You're looking great.
Thanks. I had a really good day. Soccer season opened on Saturday. It was a full day. And I made it through just fine, but I woke up Sunday and my balance was gone. I couldn't walk. But then I noticed my hair is getting darker and darker and darker every day. So that's a good reason to keep going.
Yes, it is. And yeah, you're not the only one. My husband's was pretty gray and his is half black now. So yes, let's keep hoping. We want those roots, right, Allie? Lavelle, please, what do you have to tell us today?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, so one of our distributors sent me a picture of a 93-year-old, their mother, who actually had gout. And her hands were so swollen. Oh my goodness. And they put the X39 on her hands, and in like 90 minutes, her hand went from looking like elephantitis down to almost normal in
Wow.
90 minutes. It's just amazing. But I do want to share one other thing, and I hope it's okay with the
Sure.
water, if it's okay.
No, that's fine.
Okay, so Jonathan Bill's group, he has a friend that he grew up with, Sally Patton, one of our directors. Her husband has symptoms that include memory loss, problems with language or communication, difficulty reasoning and problem solving and confusion. And everybody knows what that is if you don't. But guess what? He drank 2 glasses of the water, and oh my goodness, he used to have taken half an hour to get out of bed, didn't know where he was and everything. And I spoke to him, Jonathan and I spoke to him last night, and he's coherent. After 2 glasses of the water.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Thank you so much. We're just waiting to get it. I know Jonathan got his, I think, but it's on its way, right, Jonathan? But we can't wait. And thank you, Lavelle. David, we give so much thanks to him, and thank you, God, for giving us David, because he has a brain like I don't think anybody else does. And I know it's been said before, but I hope sometime he gets the Nobel Prize. He is just an amazing individual. So please, Jonathan, unmute.
Lavelle, I'm going to pinch you next time I see you. You stole my story.
I thought so.
That's it. I'm going to get out the way. Jerry, you're my kind of girl. Drive that stick, baby. Drive that stick.
Thank you. I can't give it up. Thanks. Brad, please unmute and come on in.
Yeah, so Danielle mentioned about the Alavita patch earlier, and I've got a lot of things going on in my life right now. I mean, it's just very, very hectic, and normally I sleep like a baby, but lately I've been, I can't shut my mind off. So I've been using the Alavita and it has worked so well. I get very, very deep, good rest, and I'm very, very happy about that patch.
Yeah, I am too. And do you, where I put mine on my third eye, do you just put
Right.
yours on the,
Right on the right temple.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yep.
I find mine right here and it really makes great
I'll
sense.
have to try that, see if that works better, but it works really well on the right temple too. So
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Okay, David, come on in.
Yes, I was at a garage sale. I forgot to say this. I was at a garage sale, and there was a couple of women there, and I started telling them about the X39 patch, and they said, "Well, what has it done for you?" And I said, "Well, I'm 76 and feeling great." And they said, "Yeah, but can you click your heels?" And I never thought about it, but I jumped up and clicked my heels, and it's like, oh my God, I didn't even know I could do that, but. They were just like, oh my, sign me up. And both of them gave me their name, said, we want in.
Okay, you keep clicking, David. Valerie, do you have another story for us? Please unmute.
Yes, I do. Now that we was talking about the other patches, my grandson, my daughter was telling me my grandson had those growth pains in his leg and stuff. Okay, she said that she would take and put an Eon on him because she was afraid of the 39, but she put the Eon on him, and she said he come up one day and he says, "Mom, my legs don't hurt anymore." So that they really, really work.
Thanks for sharing that. And I got it. I heard it last night on Sunday's call, and all of you too, if you can be available on Sunday nights. Sometimes it's not a good time, but 7:30, the Zoom that's on Sunday nights, we get all kind of good testimonies. And yes, they talked about growing pains and putting the patches on it. And you can tell your granddaughter, though, or I think that's who you said, that the X39 is fine for the boy too. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing's going in. Thank you so much. Shannon, nice to see you. Please unmute.
Thank you so much, Jerry. So another story from my local coffee shop. Lady
Okay.
walks in, she said, "Man, I can't wait till this week's over." I said, "Well, why is that?" She said, "My knees are killing me." I said, "No way, what's going on with that?" Well, she's a nurse, walking all the time. And she said, "Well, listen to this." And she squats down, and there's a group of people standing there. And as she gets up, you could hear all this popping and crackling. And I'm like, "Oh, no way." I said, "That used to happen to me." And then I found this awesome technology. And she's, "What's that?" So I pulled out this patch because I always have extras. I didn't have to pull it off my neck. And so I put it in her hand. I said, "Watch this. I've been putting this patch on every day, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, for about 4.5 years." And so I bend down, squat position, get back up. "Did you hear anything?" She said, "No." I said, "I couldn't have done that 4 years ago. I would be pulling and pushing myself up." She's like, "Where do you get these?" I'm so glad you asked. So just in a short amount of time, I heard what her problem was. I shared my testimony, handed her a patch. I said, "Be blessed with this." And she took my card, which has all the information. And anyway, and her name just happens to be Shannon. That's the end of my story.
Well, yeah. And I know about the knee thing because I can do that too now. So great. And we're almost to the bottom of the hour. So I'll share one more since nobody has been brave today. I'll tell you about when I fell, and real bad fall, fractured my pelvis in 2 places. And there's a number of stories I can take from this because I had been on, well, when it happened, I'd been on the patches maybe 2.5 years already, but X49 had come out also. So I was on that one. And when I went to the doctors, I had all the patches on, and I never used the pain drug, by the way. I put the ice waves on my body as I was lying in my driveway because the EMT hit me with the claw that they were going to lift me to, and the pain was unbearable. And so they waited till my neighbor ran in and got the patches, and I put maybe 3 sets of them all down my pants around me. And it was about 45 seconds, and I was able to let them pick me up, put me on a gurney, and I never used a pain drug. And then I was using all the patches the whole time in there. After I was back from the doctor and rehab and all that, went to the doctor, and in the 3-week checkup, he wasn't going to do an x-ray, and I asked him to, and he says, well, it's too soon. And I just said I wanted to compare it to the next one. So the 3-week one, when he says, you already have bone growing. At the 6-week one, both fractures were engulfed in bone. So then he started asking questions, because he says, this is not, what usually happens, because usually by the time you're 65, if you fracture your pelvis or your hip, you're done for. So then he says, and it leads me to wonder, why didn't you fracture your hip? And that's because, as he saw from the x-rays, I have a rod in my back. So the top of my pelvis could not move. So the bottom was going to break. So then he got from that all that I was on X49 from when it started. So that is why after he learned about it, my hip didn't go. It was just the fact that my pelvis went because it had to, it couldn't shake. So I see 2 more hands up, and I'm going to get off the screen. So please, Gregory, what do you have to tell us again?
I'm going to tell us about tonight, but I'm going to let Sunshower
Just Sunshower.
real
Okay.
quickly, and then I'll wrap it up with some discussions about tonight and tomorrow night.
I just noticed that Rodger and Corolla put in the chat about consistency. And so I'm going to say my smeller story, which a lot of you know, but if you're new, you don't. So I was born without the sense of smell. And 2 years after wearing my X39 every day, like a good girl, I'm out in my backyard weeding. And guess what? I could start to smell. I'm like, wait, this weed smells different than this weed. That was almost shocking. So you guys, stay consistent. As Dr. Wong says, you cannot pick the fix. The body will do what it's going to do, and be sure to stay well hydrated. Thanks.
Exactly. It goes to where it's needed. So please, Gregory, let's hear what's going on tonight.
All right. Well, thanks, Jerry. You always do such a wonderful job hosting. Thanks, everybody, for sharing your wonderful miracle stories. Isn't this a great way to start our day and week? We love the Monday morning miracle calls. Tonight, we are going to have 2 very special guests. And the first is Julie Hunter. And many of you probably don't know Julie, but she's the new Global Director of Compliance. And, one of the biggest challenges we have with LifeWave, with the miraculous results people are getting from these products, is not getting in harm's way from a compliance standpoint with the FDA, the FTC, and so I think I'm proud that the Live Younger community is one of the most compliant in the company, because we talk about symptoms, not diseases. And today you're going to get to meet our new director. She's new. She's been with us a few months, but she came from the director of clients from one of our billion-dollar competitors. So she's no newcomer to network marketing, direct sales, and how to teach, enthusiastic brand partners how to tell our story in a compliant way. So you're going to be blessed with hearing directly from Julie Hunter, our Director of Global Compliance. And then we have a very special guest that's sitting right here next to me from Puerto Rico that happens to be in Bozeman, Montana, Kai Jacobson. And Kai, what were you going to talk about tonight?
Well, Gregory just asked me just a few seconds ago, so I was
a lot of planning went into this.
And what I've been personally working with lately is the inner game of how to become successful. We talk a lot about the outer game of like what to do, but there is a way to work from an inside place that can really help facilitate that to occur. The other part falls on its own accord, and that's pretty easy to follow. But the inner one is really a deeper thing to change, because we have a lot of beliefs and thoughts about ourselves, about the world, about the company, about everything that actually sabotage our success. And so I want to talk a little bit about how to circumvent that and how to find a much more direct way to achieve your success as a business and as a lifestyle and as a servant of other people. And so that's what I'll be talking about.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kai. And thank you, everyone. And Lavelle, you got your hand up. Did you have a quick comment you want to make before we wrap it up?
Quick comment. Yeah, thank you so much, Kai and Gregory. And the man upstairs says if you want to be great, you must be servant to all. So I'm a piggyback on that. But I wanted to share something and piggyback on Sun Shower. There was a call last night, Connie's call, where another person said in 2 years of using the X39, he got his hearing back. Stay consistent, everybody. In 2 years, he got his hearing back. Guys, tell people, listen, don't worry about the cost. Worry about your health. Thanks so much, Gregory. Thanks so much, Kyle.
That's awesome.
Thanks so
Thanks,
much.
Lavelle.
Yeah.
And thank you, Jerry. Thank you, everyone. And at this point, if you'd like to unmute, say your farewells, and we'll see many of you on the call tonight. So thanks very much.
Great call. Thanks.
Super information.
Another fantastic call.
Thank you.
Great
Bye,
call.
everybody.
Thank
Thank you
so
much. It was a beautiful call. Enjoyed the information.
Thank you. This is
Have a great
Kathy.
day.
Thank you. Appreciate all your energy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Love Tribe.
so much.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Great call.
Bye.
Blessings.
Bye-bye.
Everyone, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.